Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2623. I'm your host Arwin, and before we start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Go. And yeah, I did actually get a PayPal again. Blue Pilled Evolution, really appreciate it. And the Patreon also simultaneously came in, so yeah, that was really good. It's a bit of a boost. It helped me definitely through this through the court. I really appreciate it, and it's gonna be extremely helpful. So right, the weather is slightly less clouded than it was yesterday, but I mean it's still overall clouded. Some sun is coming through here and there. But not up there, not sure. I don't know, maybe not. And there's a bit of wind. Yeah, it feels less high humidity as it was yesterday. It didn't like continuously rain. 2026. Temperature is 14 degrees Celsius with 73% humidity. 13 kilometers an hour wind and 10% precipitation. And the forecast overall, that's gonna be this kind of weather, I guess, coming week. And then, well, according to the prediction, by coming weekend. But for now, it's kind of like this, and I mean it's fine. It's a very decent temperature. It's actually, yeah, good. So it's a nice. It's nice weather. I have nothing to complain back. I mean, the summer technically hasn't even started yet. Right. So yeah, I hope everybody had a good Monday and is having a nice Tuesday. I bumped into a whole bunch of clips on X. Another day. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jesus. Yeah, tons of clips, different directions. This was really interesting because it basically had a full-blown animation of the Tower of Babel as the described in the Bible, and it's like really impressive. Right. I had a pretty deep sleep. I kind of didn't really want to wake up. Just kept going, but yeah, the show must go on. Well, it doesn't seem to be continuously, but yeah, that was a cutout. Oh, and again, here it goes. Anyway, hello, keep me in your fear. Good to see you in the chat over at Rumble. Hope you're doing great. Like when I go dream walking and go full blown esoteric, there are things that I can still like improve upon as I'm doing that. I'm gonna try to do that more to prevent points where I literally like kind of lose track of what I was saying, because that's never things that I can still like improve upon as I'm more than necessary. But there's kind of like a reason why I do it, because I kind of right. But I mean, I got the whole esoteric picture, or rather the spirit things. I do have it down, and I was able to absolutely perfectly understand everything that I was talking about. I hope it all made sense to you guys too. Really, do you recognize it? Can you say like, hey, that what you were talking about, the subtleties of that's happening between me and this person, right? Because that would give me a better feel as to like, yeah, I'm not presenting it slightly in an off way, in a way that's not like I overlooked something in the moment. Some of the subtleties. Because I'm with what I'm talking about, I am basically purely going on memory. But I mean, that memory, you gotta realize the memory is kind of filtered through the type of person that I am. With my shortcomings in ways, especially, and so there might be more that I'm actually missing out on. I'm just trying to grab hold of like the patterns that I can grasp. There might be more that I'm overlooking. Right, anyhow, it was a good show. And really like I'm very happy, like put, and it's a thing. It's like a culture thing. That's how people, like, if it is being expressed, that thing in a video or whatever, in a theater piece, it's kind of fun. It's like, yeah, that's what place on the inside, and I'm able to describe that. So, and I hope I got it right. I hope it makes sense. Yeah, it's one of those days. Unfortunately, yesterday was great. It was so fluid in the chat. I mean, it was a bit, and it's fine. I was like just too busy talking anyway. I don't feel like I'm gonna like literally repeat the same depth as yesterday. I'm still chewing on it, still just looking back at what I did. I mean, I watched the whole show back from beginning to end, and I'm still kind of thinking about it. And of course, I'm always thinking about the far past and the fallen angels and the original UFO things being divine intervention tech. I mean, that's like really
Connection terminated.
best. Yeah, I don't really like you. I'm going to kick you out of my chat because I think you're a troll. Let's take a look at this, at the animation of the Tower of Babel here. It's really impressive. Right, so let's check it out. Just a couple of seconds. Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Animation. take a look around. I'm sure because I feel like things are moving again out there in geopolitics. There is a it's been kind of been like things are slowing down, holding off, been boring. Well, not it was still crazy, but I think things are gonna go into motion again. Things are gonna happen. Yeah, there's a rollout here also in the Netherlands with like the energy crisis, and everybody's recognizing, and we're all seeing it. Yeah, but yeah, they want to ration things, and that could lead to, well, yeah, a lot of people. There's a good chance that at some point in the not too distant future, people here just simply won't even be able to get gasoline for their cars because it's all rationed out, and they're just not gonna be able to get it at all. And that means that probably, well, this is not going to be good if they really fully roll it out like this, and it's technically not even necessary. It's crazy, right? Wow. Oh, this is... What the fuck? Okay, so apparently, yeah, there was the remembrance thing that we do always against the Germans that went through all that. It's very specifically Dutch, but apparently in Amsterdam, a bunch of Ukrainian people that are refugees, right, from the Ukrainian war, they literally disrupted like the remembrance thing. They started like being disruptive, like social justice warriors kind of thing, and they were just like, what the thing, the remembrance of another war. Like, there's gotta be something wrong with these people. And it's very suspicious too. It's like, oh, you're refugees, are you? but you're programmed like this. It's just
If you have arthritis or joint pain, listen up. The 3 best foods for arthritis and joint pain. The first one is olive oil. It has a
I mean, does it take place at the same time? Hold on, now I'm really confused. Days is the it was Sunday, which is like a separate remembrance thing that relates to Russia, and the Ukrainians disrupted that, which is still quite insane, as you're literally fleeing the country that you would disrupt that. In another country. But I didn't even know that we had that sort of thing in the Netherlands. I didn't know that was going on. And I mean, I'm fine with that. Sure. With other nations and right, whatever. But yeah, a bunch of Ukrainians disrupted of Russia. It makes a little bit more sense that they thought that they were disrupting our Remembrance Day, but
Connection terminated.
So what the hell are you? Don't advertise for other streams on my live show. Thank you very much. Especially about nonsense subjects. Nobody gives a fuck about all these elitists and whether they're secretly of the opposite sex. I mean, who gives a shit except fags? Yeah, only fags care. About that shit. Nope. Right. Anyway, let me continue to see what's going on out there. Yeah, it's a bunch of attention about Bill Gates, what the hell he has been doing, like releasing disease-spreading mosquitoes, GMO ticks. Apparently it's He's been involved with that. So, and it's kind of ironic too, because if they would have done that like 20 years ago, people would have bought it on average, because there was not so much distrust. Now it's like, yeah, we've been able to, as the general public, been able to scenario now, like we'll just per default not believe it. Not because we would not be in a position where we could believe it, but because of the government, because of so in a way it's like a sophisticated spellcraft piece to do something like that in Alien Invasion. You need the right calm conditions to make it work. They're just playing it out like a quick distraction, not actually going to spellbind, going to make people really believe it. It will be recognized as a quick distraction. Yeah, let's put that in the title. I don't know. It's the just situation because of like what we've figured out, what's actually taking place. It's researched, it's out there. People have experienced so much gaslighting that the gaslighting, which is like really spiritually aggressive, really like, you are really fucking stupid and I'm gonna tell you this super brazen lie under the assumption that you're just going to cuck to the perceived authority even though you know you're being straight-faced lied to. Like, that's like a spiritual attack, and what it does is it actually wakes people up to the fact that that's going on. They don't just forget. They don't just put it away like I'm by the gun. Really elaborate deceptions that are more sophisticated, that are like world changing. Well, when you try to implement them, people just looks right through it, because they know how the deceptions are going to be rolled out, because they had to research it, because they figured out that they were being deceived continuously. and they had to learn how to defend themselves against it, against the psychological, spiritual attack of it. So they researched it, then they figured out like, oh hey, there's a thing called like an alien deception that they were planning. It's literally on paper and shit. Project Bluebeam. And so they know they are spiritually inoculated against it, while the government and the New World Order and the whole conspiracy, the Epstein elite, is being really hostile towards the general public in neo-feudal fashion. But that has actually enabled us to spiritually end our human.
Brutality.
So yeah, it's not gonna work. Because of the overall situation. Right, hope you all appreciate the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. But yeah, that's going around, the supposed alien invasion. Because it's Desperation Day, right? The elite have expressed, like also in the EU top and all that, they're like, oh, there is a crisis of confidence. We've lost confidence of the public because you're like straight lying and lie to you every step of the way, even when it's not even necessary to accomplish anything. Like yeah, people are gonna lose confidence in you if you're gonna act openly like a homicide together. Well, what are you gonna like create amnesia of everything that you did? What about everything is on record? And is out there and is known and is forgetting like all the shit that has happened. You know? They're gonna fall for it. They're gonna know. Spellbind people, the public. You have to have a modicum of trust. They have to be like looking at the government and be like, oh yeah, we hate it, it kind of sucks, but I mean, yeah, they're okay. They're trying to do the right thing, right? They have to see it at least like that for that to work. But unless these aliens are then going to like attack them, then it's a different story. Yeah, I mean, if an alien invasion comes and it's not like what we'd all expect, like, oh yeah, we're friends with the government and you have to cooperate, which is what they probably want to do, because they've only one way of thinking, and that's how they do it. Oh, yeah, another continent that's off the record, and they're gonna come in and just like, hi, we're here, your government's fucked, we're taking them out. Well, then people are gonna be like aliens? Oh, that's probably a trick. Wait, they're attacking government? What? Yay, aliens or something. Right, that's another matter. If they're literally just gonna come forth and just like making the elite's not gonna roll out a power that's going to literally remove them. Now, any kind of shadow class in the background might do that. It's actually a very favored way to change empires. Yeah. Let a format corrupt, which is itself much better, much freer, much more human, but then they still take the systems that the old thing put there, take that over and still use it, but kind of in the background. They didn't create it, so it's not going to be associated with them. And people want to be ruled by the new group much more easily. Well, a shadow group will typically do that, right? It's like, you're in power, do this, do that. They build all the control systems. Then, not power over, got kicked out, and then the new group takes it over, and then there is an advancement in control for the shadow group that put them there. Right? So technically an alien invasion, if they take care of the Epstein class elite, the neo-feudalists, if they literally take them out, well, then it's a whole different story. Then people could be spellbound by it, and they maybe even start to just saved us all. So we don't really care if we don't really believe in details. Like, we're open-minded again, because that's how people work. It's like, if you're coming to save us, we'll believe anything you say, because right, it would also it would make space popular again, literally, if aliens came to literally rescue us from the neo-feudalists. Rescue us from the climate change nonsense. The alien invasion thing purely as a distraction away from their evil, which is like the sloppiest way to play a really sophisticated card. A piece of statecraft that's very subtle, very complicated, very impactful, and they just want to play it off as a quick distraction, which is stupid. It's just ridiculous. Terrible way to apply statecraft. Right, but again, that's the last time I'm gonna reiterate it, but if the aliens came in and actually like started to take out the elite, liberate us, well then they'd be very popular with humans. Wow, so Aliens had to liberate us from this. We couldn't even do it ourselves. There's gonna be a little resentment from them. And distrust. Because they want to be in control. Because they want humans to be in control. Etc. Anyway, this is all super hypothetical. If an alien invasion rollout would happen, like how it would happen, how the alchemy of it could work, and there's just very specific conditions, right? And in general, you could state the public's become very defensive against that until this Epstein class, until the Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates and those guys and the COVID responsible people, the Faucis, and all the Epstein class, until they are taken, when they're taken down, it's a liberation. It will feel like justice has been met, and then people will be more open-minded, including to new mind control stories. Yeah, because it's like they're not under spiritual assault anymore in a neo-feudal fashion. So they're not gonna auto-hoax whatever's coming to them. They're not going to be like, yeah, you're trying to mind control me because you're a neo-feudalist and you're trying to fuck me over. You're trying to trick me into giving up more what I got. Yeah, if that elite is taken care of, that is like, yay! And threat that's always psychologically attacking them, trying to trick them. So that is basically, yeah, it sounds very simple when I say it like that, but it is like that. Not be more susceptible to new illusions, new programming when they are taken care of, when they have met the justice that they so blatantly deserve. Yeah. That's how it works. That's yeah. Man. Yeah, Israel keeps blowing up Lebanon. It's terrible. They're just pulling a full-blown Gaza on it. They even say it. They call it using the Gaza model. I mean, they're just so atrocious. They're such an atrocity. It's horrifying. And I mean, everybody wants it to stop, like really badly. It's like, stop them now. Stop them now. Israel regime change now. 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 Israel regime change. Force this war to stop. It's got to be forced. No more waiting it out. They're literally genociding a people. They're destroying entire regions. Completely destroying it. Like, they must be stopped now. No waiting it out. Regime change. Israel regime change now. I'm gonna fucking put it in the title. Screw it. Yeah, and hey, I keep saying it, I'm not even against the state of Israel. I'm not particularly for it. I'm saying regime change. That means another government, another group of people in control in Israel, which will be Israel. Yeah? That's my middle road. I think Israel regime change is the only thing that will continue, like, create longer lasting peace and prevent like a giant Israeli uprising crazy shit going down everywhere. Want to take it away. Not gonna stop with diplomacy. Only force will make them stop. So cutting off their military supplies, force them to step down, or literally move in and take them down. That's it. It's the only thing that's gonna make the genocide stop. Right? The same genocide that is also being weaponized against Europe, and this compromise. They're not really refugees. They're like the other part of the plan, and the only way to stop that is to force regime change of Israel, of the nation of Israel, and really make them stop. And I mean, I'd love to see some very serious Nuremberg style trials going on, but that's not essential. What is essential is that the regime changes and that they stop the genocide and stop the war, stop the Greater Israel plan, and like really permanently stop that. No holding it off. Stop it, discontinue, break the roots of the plan. Break it. Make it stop forever. Yeah. That's actually been happening. No, like really permanently discontinue. And they're never going to, the people that are in control there, so it would have to be a full-blown regime change. It's the only thing that's going to make it stop, the only thing that's going to prevent at this point from the entire Western world turning into a hell. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. A bunch of talk in the US that they're running out of fertilizer, and that there's no new crops being planted this year because of that, because of the fertilizer shortage, which is part of the Strait of Hormuz crisis, through which like a lot of fertilizer apparently comes, that including a bunch that the US buys. Only Europe had like excess amounts of fertilizer because they were allowed to have a lot of cattle and then they could like maybe send some over to the US. Like, oh, you need some fertilizer? We can give you some because we have access. But no, we can't have any farmers here. We can't. All the nitrogen, right? They're basically now gonna develop a short nitrogen. We supposedly accept, right? All feudalism, all of it. It always comes down to cut down food. Cut down food. Make everybody starve. That's like the final step of all feudal systems, is make sure they do not have enough food to eat. Whether there's a lot of it or whether there actually isn't any, it's not important. As long as they do not get enough food, and the people in power, the kings, the regents, are in control of the food supply. Now we have feudalism. They're in full control. They're like gods, and they can make public dance any way they want, or they'll. And we can all thank Trump for that. Thanks a lot, Trump. Thanks for being like a full-blown turning to the dark side traitor. You are literally fulfilling the neo-feudalist elite's plan. Even that this is gonna happen. I don't know. Maybe he's just too obsessed with this frickin' Israel buddies to even care. Right. Hope everybody's enjoying the show. I'm not sure how much is coming through live. OBS is getting weird today. But it should all be there in the playback. Bunch of like eyes of Sauron that just immediately take note and are just like anticipating a bunch of stuff happening. But yeah, I just like to bring it up, and then easy. Oh, just regime change. That's it. I want to give it as little attention as I possibly can. I actually only now I'm starting to feel like I've actually woken up. I'm very slow at waking up in the last few days. I don't know why that is. Well, maybe going to bed. Hope you're all enjoying the show. Hope you appreciate my train of thinking. Hope it makes sense. You. It really should work like that. Hey, hello, friendly fire. Good to see you again. like very special, where the servants can like lift the food up on lifts that directly lift up to the table, so they don't have to like walk around and be confronted with the servants. But I mean, you could say like, oh, they really don't like the servants, but I mean, it's still pretty awesome as a system. It's pretty cool. So, dinner plate just lifting up to the table. Pretty cool. Here's another Tartarian relation video about copper. Copper is very special.
That's why they removed copper from swimming pools, because they realized that copper was so antibacterial that it was completely purifying the water that the people were swimming in without all of the harmful effects of chlorine, which we also know is $1 trillion industry. But also, when the copper was rested in the swimming pools, copper ions were being absorbed into the water, which hold electrical charge. Therefore, when people they're healing their bodies. And so if we then think about copper pipes which are being completely erased, it then makes perfect sense, because the elites realized that when water flows through copper pipes, that water is charged water. Some of you knew that the copper would keep the water completely pure and charge the water.
Yep. Copper. And I mean, there's literally like copper gardening tools of pure copper, just because working with copper even in the dirt has like that. Same effect. It charges actually that. I want like a copper bowl. At some point, if I'm gonna bump into it and I have the money for it, I will get it. It's just yeah, I don't really have money, and yeah, I mean, Tartarian society used copper all over the place, especially in relation to water. That's fascinating. Right. Joke video, that's awesome.
They're not staying with the dads. The dads aren't sticking around. They're picking these low life, deadbeat dads. Nobody around to help them. Just having to do all this herself. And she's just gonna get bigger. She's gonna get bigger and bigger, more and more pregnant with no.
Brilliant. I mean, that is so funny. But he had a great camera angle, because that's like a lot of commentary videos, they do that, but then it's like green screened over, and he filmed it and you couldn't really tell. It really looked like he was green screened over it. Brilliant. It's very, very funny joke. Loved it. Wilcock keeps.
We will be.
This is really a trippy video. I don't know if I want to play that right now. It's kind of out there, but I mean, he was into a lot of different things.
Of what it means to be human. And one of the people who is of very high interest is Namkai Norbu. I found this book that Namkai Norbu wrote in approximately 1995 or 96. I don't exactly remember. And I read this before I had any idea that any of this had anything to do with me personally. The book is called Dream Yoga and the Practice of Natural Light, and what it describes is a series of meditative practice, but in between is something they call the Dzogchen, or the Mother Light. That is the true primordial essence of the universe. It is without time, and it is without form, and it is identity. Not just an identity, but the identity that the entire universe is made from. The great mystery is that we are alive and conscious, and therefore consciousness is a feature of the universe. The latest, greatest scientific models, I've been talking about this extensively in my other show here on Gaian TV, Wisdom Teachings, tell us that the universe is all blossoming in space and time from a single geometric unity. That was first put forward by Sir Roger Penrose in the 1970s, and it was Nima Arkani Hamed and Yaroslav Trunka, two scientists who only actually proved this back in 2013. In a long series of episodes on Wisdom Teachings, I have gone into the scientific proof that the universe is alive and conscious, sentient and intelligent, and all of us are in various stages of amnesia. We have forgotten who we are, and we have forgotten what we're here for. And there is a spiritual battle playing out on Earth right now. The cabal, these negative, there is a spiritual group of what you could call extraterrestrial life that is manipulating events here on Earth for their benefit to create a fear farm.
I mean, sound really hippy dippy, but he's pretty much on target with it. It's just, yeah. It's like, I'm kind of impressed. Alright. What was this? I don't remember what this video is about. Anyway. Hour 12 minutes in. Let's just keep going, or it's gonna be like a 2-hour show if I don't just play through it all. So I don't remember what this was about. Let's see.
Question for anyone who's not living in the United States. What's
global consumer capitalist corporate oligarchy? And the thing that's collapsing isn't really the empire, at least not yet. The thing that we see crumbling is the veneer. Story that the empire would have you the yard and do what you're supposed to. You too can have a white picket fence, a station wagon, and affordable mortgage to inherit to your children. Now, personally, I'm of the opinion that this is really less of a collapse and more of a controlled demolition. We've been talking about this collapse for years and years now, about cost of living going up and living standards going down, about depression and mental illness going up, and generally people's lives becoming increasingly unbearable. Meanwhile, the people with wealth, the people in power, are consolidating wealth and consolidating power. We talk about the system like it's failing, but for the people at the top of the system, it's succeeding more than it ever has before. But of course, the growth that built this system was always obviously unsustainable. It can't be done forever. The deal used to be that you get funding is no longer functional. They can't just transition into a new way of running the world in a calm and orderly and democratic fashion, because then the working people would have some sort of say over what we're transitioning into. And of course, then we'd probably choose to transition into something where these people lost most of their power. In order to giant corporate monoliths can afford to be. Have allies suddenly turn on each other to shatter people's sense of security and to justify dramatic increases in spending towards the military-industrial complex from multiple sources at once. Isolate people, not just by country, but within countries as well. Turn them against each other based on ethnicity or gender identity, sexuality, religion, ideology. Make them believe that their neighbors are their enemies, and through that fear transform them into ideologues so that they truly become neighbors, actually their friends. Make the environment so chaotic and unbearable that people become truly desperate. Then when you do show up with your brand new deal, with your technocratic utopian promises of a stable future, people will pounce on whatever it is you have to offer. If only you promise to save them from the chaos you've just did.
But at the same time, I mean, they are losing their stopping it, which is also happening. But I mean, he did describe the system very eloquently, very succinctly of what's going on.
If none of it is random? What if all of it is part of a single, carefully designed plan that almost nobody is connecting together? Because once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. America is not stumbling through chaos. America is building something, and the goal of that something is not to defeat China, not to destroy Iran, and not to crush Russia. The goal is far bigger, far older, and far more dangerous than any of those things. The goal is total control of the global economy. To understand the plan, you have to understand one simple idea. America is not trying to control the entire ocean. The ocean is too big. Instead, America is quietly tightening grip on something far more powerful, the point. 80% of China's energy imports must travel the Panama Canal, the Suez Canal, the Strait of Gibraltar, and the Arctic passages near Greenland. If you control those choke points, you do not need to conquer the world. The world has no choice but to come to you. And right now, every single one of these choke points is being targeted by American policy at the same time. Look at what is actually happening. America is signing new military deals with Indonesia, which sits on the Strait of Malacca. America is exerting more control over the Panama Canal. America is openly talking about taking Greenland, which controls Arctic trade routes. America signed. This is a blueprint. The plan is to box China in completely. China currently gets 20% of its oil from Russia and most of the rest from the Middle East and Africa, all of which travel through choke points. America is now closing. Even if Russia that single policy made America the richest nation in human history. The plan today is the same idea but on a global scale. Keep the world at war, keep Europe fighting Russia, keep Iran fighting Israel, keep China fearing Japan. And while the world burns, America stays peaceful, sells weapons, sells energy, sells food, and lends the dollars to pay for all of it. This is why the US Department of Defense budget has reached over $900 billion. This is why Operation Stargate is investing $500 billion in artificial intelligence and data sets. Why that ever tried this strategy eventually collapsed. Rome did this, Spain did this, Britain did this, and every single one of them fell to the same three forces: nationalism, corruption, and internal division. Nations that are bullied eventually unite against the bully. Trillions of dollars in military spending get quietly stolen by insiders, and populations that are forced to fight wars they do not understand eventually rise up against their own leaders. America is already showing all three signs at the same time. So when you see what looks like chaos in the world today, understandably look below.
Yeah. I mean, I like these videos. They're short, but they're very succinct, and they really have a point and a view. It's great. Joke video. Thought it was funny. Right. So yeah, I hope all appreciate.
Of course it's me, jackass.
Jeff, the Judaic Council wants me to start World War III. I don't know if I can.
You can, and you will. You are the chosen Goy, Donald. Look away now.
Hey, that's just great. Maybe Donald on the toilet, not so great, but I mean, whatever. I thought it was really funny. Losing 320 pounds? What? That makes no sense. Really? Gold is going down? That seems... Is it though? Seems pretty stable.